Chapter 2. Battle Lines Drawn, January to March 1940. In the autumn of 1939, the relative tranquility that Europe had enjoyed since the end of the First World War was shattered as the leader of Nazi Germany, Adolf Hitler, ordered the invasion of Poland on September the 1st. The invasion of the Second Polish Republic was an event which would shape the history of the world, as Germany, a nation embittered by poverty and disgrace born from their defeat in the First Great War, was driven to seize territory that they considered was rightfully theirs. The glory days of the French and British empires were over, and as Adolf Hitler's forces charged furiously across the continent, it was clear that the devastating power of the Third Reich was now carving out a new and truly terrifying chapter in the pages of history. While Stalin's Red Army and the German Wehrmacht roamed the terrain of Europe unchecked, it would be some considerable time before the Allies could muster the strength to combat the invaders' relentless advance, and the months of January to March 1940 would be marked by cautious moves and manoeuvres. Although this period of the Second World War is generally described as the phony war, the storms now brewing at sea, on land, and in the political arena would be of vital significance as hostilities between the European nations escalated. Adolf Hitler believed that for his fatherland to rise once more from the economic abyss, a violent and terrible struggle would be necessary. According to the Nazi Führer, since the French Revolution, the world had been moving steadily towards a new great conflict, and it was Germany's duty to secure her own existence by every means possible. He promised the Germans an improved economy, the reclamation of territory lost after the First World War, and justice for the humiliation the country had faced as a result of the Treaty of Versailles. Hitler also harboured many more personal grievances, including a deep-rooted hatred of Jews and communists, and although his uneasy alliance with the Soviets as he stormed into Poland meant he had to tolerate communism for the time being, he immediately set his plans for exterminating the Jewish race in motion. With a zealous determination to exact revenge, Hitler was ready, willing and able to show the world that any attempt at diplomacy and reasoning would be futile. The events leading up to the declaration of war had proved that Hitler was not to be trusted, and with a seemingly invincible military machine snatching what the Nazis believed to be rightfully theirs, any nation that attempted to stand in their way was destined to be crushed. Hitler's star was most definitely in the ascendancy. Czechoslovakia had been occupied, Austria forcibly pushed into union with Germany, and as the 1930s had drawn to a close, Poland was now the third nation to see Nazi soldiers marching across its borders. Having signed the Anglo-Polish agreement, Britain, allied with France, had no alternative but to go to war with the Third Reich. But just how to tackle the supremacy of Hitler's troops was still to be decided. While the Allies watched events unfold, as January 1940 heralded the start of a most uncertain new year, still no action had been taken to intervene in the Nazi and Soviet invasion, and on the war-torn streets of Poland there was little to celebrate. What's more, following the terror of the initial attack, the German occupation was proving to be ever more devastating. Hitler had no respect for the people of Poland, who he viewed as little more than subhuman, and it was soon evident that it was their country that he wanted. For some time, Hitler had advocated creating more living space for German civilians, and he planned to clear all Poland's inhabitants, allowing only a designated number to remain working as slaves. The crises now facing Poland was truly appalling. In January, plans were drawn up for prison camps similar to those already existing in Germany, to be built on Polish territory. The most notorious of these was located on the edge of the small village of Auschwitz, and to this day, just the mention of its name conjures up all the horrors of the Second World War. Many Poles were systematically sent there to die, among them countless men, women and children of Jewish descent. Hitler's persecution of the Jews was gaining momentum. But these prototype concentration camps were only the beginning of Hitler's plans for the Polish nation. He wanted all
Sample complete. Ready to continue?